hit the Zazook time. Bring my breath on my money climb. Charts and trends, let's make it clear. Trade today, no theory here. Gamma low, the lines are tight. Plan of moves before the fight. Strategy is sharp, we're leading the way. Zazook reps it on the day. Zazook time. It's Zazook time. Zazook time. Guess what? It's Zazook time.
All right. Hello and welcome to December 10th, 2024. I'm your host, Biz, coming at you live with co-founders Rennie and Andy, here to talk about market health, BTC, market pullback, whatever you want to call it. Yesterday was a no trade day for me. I don't know if you guys took any trades, but it was just way too choppy. I think yesterday on stream we were already calling potential pullback or at least weakening in what it looked. But then we also had like a little mini fake out, and like I almost had the urge to get in, and I was so lucky I didn't do it. It's lucky that IRL was so busy yesterday, so it kept me just off the charts for that much longer, and then we saw this big pullback. So how was your trading day? Would be curious to know, Andy, and we can definitely get it right into it. But without further ado, Rennie, let's take a look at the market health and see what's happening with Bitcoin.
Yeah, market health have obviously had a pullback, as you can see here on the gauges. Especially the 4 hours now in a negative territory, and 12 hours is pulling back up a little bit, and also the 1 day. Both are still in the green, so longer term there is still health. So I would classify this still as a correction in the overall market, and not as a change in trend yet. The different sectors have pulled back a little bit, as you can see, but what's interesting is that you can see the RSI has pulled back from the overbought level to around 50 in most of these coins, these sectors. Meme coin had the biggest hit, so to see. So yeah, what is happening is at this moment still a correction of all the moves up that we had in the altcoins, and not a change in trend as far as I can see. That will maybe happen if Bitcoin starts to fall further. So let's see what these trends are. Short-term trend in Bitcoin.
I felt like altcoins
now negative.
I felt altcoins got obliterated. You just talked about.
They certainly did.
Well, if a coin goes up like a couple of 100% and then pulls back 20%, I don't see that as obliterated. I'd see that as a normal correction in the crypto market. I mean, in the stock market, it would be disastrous, but within the crypto market, we've seen it before. Doesn't really say that this is now the turning point, but it depends a bit on what Bitcoin is going to do, and Bitcoin now is in a short-term negative trend, and the long-term trend is indecisive. It's orange, so it tends to look like, and we can also have a look at the chart, it tends to seem that Bitcoin is going to pull back further. But as we don't have a crystal ball, we just have to see what price is going to do. We can see that, check the different levels where Bitcoin could get support, and where Bitcoin should go through to continue the move up. Fear and greed hasn't changed much. 78, so we are not afraid, not yet. We're still greedy. And this is the chart of Bitcoin. This is the 1 hour chart. We discussed this level here above yesterday, and this level has a 4 hour hold and a 4 hour break level, and within this level, Bitcoin could be held back. If it reaches that level, the hold level would hold the move back, and the break level needs to be touched to be able for Bitcoin to be able to move further up. Well, as you can see, it didn't even get to the hold level, and it actually created a new hold level in the 1 hour chart. So there's a break, in the 15 minutes chart. So there's a break level, a 1 hour break level, a new break level that Bitcoin has to break before it even can go to that 4 hour hold and 4 hour break level. So there's more resistance, overhead resistance at the moment. And on the downside, we only have these break levels, and the daily break levels. These are normally pretty strong the daily break levels, but they already have been touched here a couple of times. So there's a likelihood that this is going to break. This one has also been touched, and here's a 4 hour hold level that has held the move up in the past. So if Bitcoin can't bounce off these levels here, and in the worst case scenario, this level here, around 90,000, then we probably have a further correction downwards. So what Bitcoin now needs to do to be able to move up further is, attack these levels here, see that 1 hour break level gets broken, 4 hour hold level gets tested, and then the 4 hour break level gets broken. So there's still some work to do for Bitcoin to be able to move up further. But as you know, stranger things have happened. So we'll just have to see and keep these levels in mind and see what happens when Bitcoin reaches these levels and if they are going to break.
Yeah. I mean,
that's it for Bitcoin. And of course, when Bitcoin breaks down, then the altcoins, are going to pull for. Bitcoin is going to pull the altcoins with it, as we've seen before.
I mean, if we get a retest right now, like a slight correction right now, and it starts to form that higher low, we could see a nice little bounce that could play out for the rest of the day. I mean, the case could be made.
Yeah.
If it comes down, it needs to come down soon, though.
But the thing is that there's not much that holds the move up. There's only break levels that can hold the move up, and ideally you would want a hold level to hold the move up and not a break level. But yeah, it's possible. It's possible that Bitcoin, is going to test those levels on top. It's possible. We'll just have to see and wait and see. That's the phrase.
Yeah. What did they say? The trends is your friend until the end, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Until the end, my friend. Is that not from the Doors?
I don't know.
End,
I don't know.
friend?
But a couple of trading principles I got taught early on was adapt or get slapped, and trend is your friend until the end.
Yeah.
There's some great phrases, isn't there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But Andy, if you wanted, what did you see overnight while I was sleeping? Because I'm just waking up to this, but it looks pretty decent, at least from my perspective.
Share my screen, and then I'll do my bits. Let me know when you have it, Biz.
Wow, that's a lot of juicy tips over. That's
all right, cool. So you can see me now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, overnight, obviously, Bitcoin had a pullback, and we're going to discuss that in a minute on the charts. We had so many juicy tip overs. I mean, like, I would say hundreds of juicy tip overs, which I can show you in a second. So much so, I mean, some great profits of the maximum profits that these coins got. You know, like 59%. There's one that's low there, 3%, but it only came in 2 days ago. Didn't have any time before the pullback. So you know, 53, 43, 82, yada yada yada. So many juicy tip overs that we at the turn of the day this morning, which for me is 7 a.m., the start of 0000 hours UTC. So many juicy tip overs that we exceeded the Discord limit on how many messages you can send within a short period of time. And the evidence of that is that one coin that's bucking the trend, and I'll come to it later in my talk, is Usual, which came into only into our software on the 20th of the 11th. And you'll see there's 2 juicy tip updates, but no juicy tip, because there were so many juicy tip overs that Discord, it doesn't send me a message. It just sort of silently goes, okay, you've done too many messages in a short space of time. And the evidence of that is that in my favorite channel of the Elite channel, yesterday we had, what was it, 350, we were up to like 350 unique trading pairs in this particular strategy channel, in the Elite channel. We're now down to 148. That's just one of the 19 channels that we send juicy tips to and juicy tip updates to. But even within that, the 148 that remain, you'll see that nearly 98% have got to a minimum of 5%, 96% to 10, 90 to 20, 86 to 30, 81 to 40, and 75% to 50%. So internally, although we've had a lot of our stops of our software were hit on many of the juicy tips, they'd already been in pretty good profit before that happened. So internally we're looking good. So let's go to the Bitcoin chart. Last night before I slept, I got out of all my trades, and just so you know, Biz, I've not traded today because I had to go out today anyway. And when I woke up this morning and saw the aftermath of Bitcoin's pullback, I decided, well, let's just have a kind of go. I had to go out until about 2 p.m. today. I came back. I've been just doing lots of setups in readiness, right? But anyway, so what I did was I went to the hour chart last night before I slept, and I replaced the VWAP onto here. And you can see that on the 1 hour chart, you can see that the drop that we had on the 3rd of December went to the lower deviation band. This is one deviation down, hit it remarkably well. I'm going to come back to this big red one in a second. So it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Last night, we absolutely nailed this particular level again. So Bitcoin literally bounced off that deviation within the VWAP that I set here, back from then this is the volume weighted average price from the 27th of November. So what about this one, the big dip? Well, on VWAP, that you can have upper bands and lower bands. And so I'm going to do the bearish scenario for Bitcoin first. And you can see you've got like 1, 2, 3 upper and 3 lower. So let's deal with the lower. So I've got the lower 1 on. Let's put the lower 2 on. And as you can see, taking 1 step back to here, it went down to the 2 times deviation on that dip, the big one that we had on the 6th of December. But now if I go back to here again, Um, so what about a bullish scenario, or what about the scenario that's in play? Well, first of all, we are currently bouncing off the VWAP on the 1 hour. So that's what Bitcoin is doing right now, and it's been kind of coming down and going up. So we're kind of in that range. Since we went back up, we tried to dip down, but we didn't, and we've been in this range now for what, 1, 2, 3, 7 or 8 hours. Whilst you're awake today, Biz, I think we may well get a bounce if we don't automatically fall back. But there's a chance we could fall back. But what are the bullish sort of ideas here? So if we put upper band 1 on, you can see that before the drop, we were riding the first up deviation along here quite a lot. Then we bounced back to the VWAP, then we bounced up, and then obviously we had this massive bounce down. If we put the second upper band on, you can see that's a possible target. And if we put the third one on, let me get rid of this now, then we could ultimately be going back to there. But I think we've got to break this one, this 99, effectively get back up to 100 first. But there could well be a short term now that'll go back up here before either there's a drop here or a drop here again. Before we go back up, who knows? You know, I can't tell the future. But although last night might have looked bearish, let's look at a different BTC chart. So this is BTC on the day chart. And from the move it did from the 6th of November, is it the 6th of November? Yeah. If you look at what happened last night, we didn't even retrace down to the 382 on the fib retracement. So things are still pretty damn bullish. You know, there's kind of nothing to worry about. Others, now, total 3 is everything excluding Bitcoin and ETH. And you see that went down. Others is everything excluding the top 10, I believe, coins. Now, yesterday they took, as an overall market, a 26% pullback. As Rene said, many of these coins, ADA, for instance, had gone up like 600%, ridiculous amount, right? And some of the others, 26% is nothing. Although some of the alts did take a pretty big hit, whilst others, and I'm going to show you 1 or 2 in a minute, didn't take that big a hit, really. And surprisingly, one of the coins that didn't, it surprised me because it's a meme coin. Yeah. And they usually take a big hit, right? So let's now move on from that and move on to our little altcoin season index thing that we've been musing with every night. Currently, apparently, we're not in altcoin season anymore. And this is the last time I'm going to show this because I'm not quite sure it makes any sense. But
yeah, it was a fake
yes,
out.
yeah, that's what they're saying. Yeah, it was a fake out. But what was last night's drop? So let's go back here now. What was, get rid of that. What was last night's drop all about? Well, if you go to this chart, or this is a CoinGlass liquidation data, 1.5 billion was liquidated overnight. And if you look at the 24-hour wrecked, 1.3 billion were longs and only 181 million were shorts. So actually it was a kind of liquidating those high leverage long folks, right? So those people that are doing sort of 30, 40x and, you know, shooting for the moon, they got wrecked last night, absolutely wrecked. And so the market has kind of really sort of taken back. And oddly enough, the 24 hours, there's more shorting than there are longing at the moment, which is also a telling statement about where is the market, right? I mean, the difference is not huge, but it is at least worth the fact that more people are shorting than are longing. So
apparently, one of the positions that got liquidated was a $19 million position.
Wow.
Yeah, wild, right?
In BTC.
It was between BTC and ETH. one of the two.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Someone's not going on holiday this next year.
you know.
Well, with a 100 leverage, and how much is
Yeah,
that?
well.
30,000 or
Well,
something?
I mean, it could be. It
Ridiculous.
could if it's $100 million account, then it's only 20%. So, I guess there's a positive way to look at it.
I suppose so. Now another coin glass thing that I looked at today was this, and it's really nice. And actually, all this data I'm about to show you, we have in Zazook, and I actually have a report that shows RSI, but it's only an internal one for me, so it's not very pretty. But it wouldn't be very hard for me to write this with the data that we've got. But anyway, what I like about this is you can show the different regions, so you can turn them off. This is on the 4-hour chart. So if we look on the 4-hour chart, how many are oversold and how many are weak and how many are neutral and how many are strong. We are going to come back to 1 million baby Doge and Troy in a minute when I go into there. And then there's none absolutely, BTC, BTC DOM, we don't have that, is actually overbought. But if you go down to the 1 hour, you can see that they're kind of pulling back up. So get rid of oversold, quite a few of them. Although now you see the red means that they've had a fall on the 1 hour. Because Bitcoin is having a little dip, the RSIs of all of these alts are going down. If I go back to the 4 hour, you'll see there are green. If I get rid of some of these, most of them are not got any movement at all in there. But if I go up to say 24 hours, you can see that we were all quite high 24 hours ago, but vastly going down. And if I go to the week, you see now we're like all falling on the week chart, right? The RSIs are really going down. But it's kind of but there are these coins that if I get rid of everything but these, you'll see there are some coins even on the week table that are not oversold, but they're not far from it. Bond is one of them, Rare is another, Dogs is another. So this is an interesting report really to look at, and visually it's quite nice because it shows you the state of play on these coins. And before I go back to the charts, a piece of news that's literally, let me just move this one. 2 pieces of news. This came in earlier today. Even the Russians now. So the Americans are saying we need to have a Bitcoin reserve. The Russians are now saying we need a Bitcoin reserve. Yeah. I think they're saying it because they're trying to counter the sanctions. But so major countries now are wanting to have big holdings in BTC. And Peter Schiff, do they not have a dark mode here? No. Peter Schiff is, remember him? Wasn't he the one that said Bitcoin will never get to 100K? Yeah. Right. So he's saying, he's urging the US to sell all the Bitcoin. Right.
Oh my goodness, man.
So I know he's still a naysayer. So I just thought that was kind of
why?
Why?
Why would he suggest selling it?
I know. Yeah.
He wants everybody to buy gold, no?
Yeah. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
There's always more
at some point
gold in the ground, right?
Say that again, sorry.
I said there's always more gold in the ground. We don't know what the total supply is going to be.
No.
Yeah.
That's right.
Big difference between that and Bitcoin.
Wasn't there an asteroid passing us totally from gold?
Well, I'm sure at some point we're going to go out and find more, right? So
yeah, there was this asteroid. I think it was purely gold.
What?
Yeah, right. A solid gold asteroid.
I don't know if you're.
Well, there's amazing things that they find out. There are planets where it rains diamonds, no?
All right, nice.
All right.
Although you
it's
wouldn't, but you wouldn't be very happy if you were.
Yo, I'll tell you where the
diamond.
you want to know where the rain landing is right here in this chart. All these data points.
Yeah.
When you're looking at what didn't move, right, and you're kind of sifting through all that noise, a lot of the market already priced its move, but some of them are just
Yeah.
they haven't they haven't made that much they haven't priced their moves
No.
yet. And so it's interesting to keep an eye on these coins because um you know, I mean, everybody wants to sort of get in at a good entry point, and seeing if the space, if the average have pumped, and some of the coins that you're noticing are at the bottom there, it could lead to some pretty decent opportunities. I'll have to take a look at it, but I really think that tool is pretty quite powerful. At least that data set. What is it? It was on one glass or whatever, right? What was that website?
Sorry, yeah. This is coinglass.com.
CoinGlass. Okay.
Yeah, so this is the RSI heat map, and the other one was the liquidation data, which I found very interesting this when I got back this afternoon.
Do they have an outperforming report, Andy?
I don't know. I've not really. You can. It's a paid service, so there's only so much that's free.
Okay.
Some of these buttons, when you click them, it goes upgrade. But anyway, it looks like a very good service, but it's pure data and very interesting stuff. So let's go back to the charts. And I mentioned here, if I go back to where was it? The overbought. Where was I on?
Yeah, right here. This is it.
No, yes, I know, but it wasn't here, was it? It was this one. One Baby Doge.
Okay.
One Baby Doge. Now this is a meme coin, but as you can see, I showed this yesterday on the stream, and how I kind of traded it, and out of all that pullback that it had from Bitcoin, it didn't actually go down that much. Well, that was kind of overnight here. So it went down 19%, which, given that some of the others went down 40%, I thought that was pretty good. And then it just went back up again. I'm not in this now. I got out, but it actually then went back up. So yeah, it's kind of a crazy thing. Troy is another one, 4-hour chart. But this was one that what happened here was it had its pullback in this one candle and then absolutely tore up. And if you go down to the 1 hour, you're going, well, hang on a minute, it was all in an hour. Let's try 15 minutes. It was like within 45 minutes, it just tore up. It just, or was it? Yeah, it just absolutely tore up. So there were some great recoveries, but I was sleeping at the time. It was my 3 a.m. And of course, at that point, you know, it's down to your risk tolerance. If you're a degen like you, Biz, you'd have probably gone all in on 40x leverage and earn a ton, because if I turn the volume off here, that literally rose 57%.
I don't know about that chart.
In the sake of 4 hours. Yeah.
That one's a hard one.
Yeah, and the other one that we saw on was it on the oversold one? Was, if we turn all the rest off, was this on the week? Was you have to, every time you do this, you have to reset them. Where was it? No, they were weak, weren't they? That was it. Bond rare dogs. So Bond, as you can see, if I go down to the 15-minute chart, that took a bath, right? So that really took a bath, down nearly 50% on that drop. So on 15 minutes, I'm not suggesting one trades this yet, but on 15 minutes, I'm now keeping an eye, if you know what I mean, at this. Dogs was another one, again, that took an absolute bath. That went down 33% last night. But again, just monitoring it. seeing how it is, going nowhere near it right now. Interestingly, I'm now going to go to the week chart. I'm going to pull this down a little bit. Coffee, anybody? This is Sol.
Yeah. Oh,
This
wait.
is Sol.
Are you talking about this cup and handle?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I thought you were.
That's why I said
But I was
coffee, anybody?
I was serious about the coffee though.
Yeah, no, it's your morning, so coffee's a good
Yeah,
thing for
yeah.
you, right? But anyway, Sol, and there's also a clear trend line down here that is broken above and hopefully will retest. But that, on the week that was its drop from there down to 24%.
Yeah.
But again, if you look at the state of play for Sol, that's not huge, is it? Going back down to $200. It'd be nice now for it to keep above that kind of mark, or just retest this weekly trend line here and then go. But again, Sol, keep an eye on it. It's an interesting one. And as I mentioned at the top here, there are always those coins that buck the trend. And usual, I can't remember what chart I'm on. No, 4 hour. I'm on the perfect chart. That is, as I said, it was a relatively new coin. We've had our very first juicy tip in it, although on this chart it was called on the 25th of November on the 4 hour here by Zazook. But as you can see, there are always those coins, and this is fairly new, so it might be worth keeping an eye on it. And this is the usual, it's to do with, hang on a sec, I did get this on. Oops, hang on a second. Coin market cap.
I just want to bring one thing up because you brought it up with the baby Doge. They just announced yesterday that they were going to launch a meme launchpad, and so that's about to.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they didn't launch it yet, but it's they dropped the announcement. But they're planning to launch it this week, and a portion of the fees will be used to burn baby Doge tokens.
All right. So okay. So usual is a decentralized fiat stablecoin issuer. So anyway, that's what usual is. Keep an eye on it. It came in as a juicy tip this morning in the mayhem of all the juicy tip overs, and it's new within our system, but it has gone up. Well, what's it gone up now since it came in this morning? If I go to the day chart, it's gone up in total 22%. It's sitting at 14 at the moment. So, something else to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
So I think, overall, when you go back to this BTC chart here, nothing to see here from this dip. But there may be another dip. If we go back to a smaller time frame, there may be another dip. Who knows? There may be a rally first, a little bit today, and then a drop. And this is bound to happen. But even if that did happen, in the scale of things, it's nothing. It's really nothing. BTC, I'm going to say dominance. I need to turn the volume off on these. Oh, sorry, I need to go to the week. That had a little bounce up, but still on these weekly, were they weekly or daily? I can't remember what they were, but they're kind of hold levels. And then BTC, that was USDT dominance, sorry. This is BTC dominance. Had a little bounce back up. And then obviously what happened overnight here was what happened to the alt market outside the top 10. Overall, 24.5% down, but making a comeback, right? Making a comeback. Now only 16% down. So yes, I personally didn't trade today, but I am very patient and I'm happy to wait for them to come to me, to the entries that I want to take. So it's up to you whether you want to degen in at this point or just sit it out and wait to see what happens.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's my report for tonight, Biz.
Yeah, no, thanks for the insights. But yeah, there's a lot of things that are happening, and it's really interesting to see how certain coins are bucking the trend. And you know, for some meme coins, I mean, it goes to show that I guess when there's actual utility, then there could be some longevity in the project that at least consensus would say so. So it's really cool to see what's happening with Baby Doge. And in case you guys are wondering what that is, take a look at puppy.fun. That's their launchpad that they're planning to launch in a few days. So yeah, so I think that's it for today. We are probably I think we're gonna go take a look at some more charts. I haven't fully did my morning scans, but if you guys interested, join our Discord. We'll be hanging out in the VC, taking a look at some charts. And if you're keen on some insights and you want to just get in on the action, purchase an NFT. We're still offering a discount at 80% off. And these you can activate or you can pause, or sorry, you can start or you can end your subscription. But by ending your subscription, you can also restart. So, and all that credit goes back into your account, and everything gets stored on as a credit on the blockchain. So you know everything is just it's trustless in this way, and the system just handles it on the back end, and you can get access at any time when you decide to start it again. And so that's the beautiful thing about Web3 is utilizing the technology in this way. So this is a subscription NFT that we're offering today, 80% off if you're interested. And until next time.
But piece of news for you, Biz.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I am removing the discount. Black
Wow.
Friday is long gone.
Okay. Well, I wasn't sure, but okay. So, what is it at right now? If it's 80% now, that would be 29 for an elite. Would it be $20 for a basic membership, and 25?
Yes. Yes. So right now, 1 month for. Wait a second. Why won't it zoom in? Why has it stopped doing that? Oh, there you go. Thank you. So, that's typical, isn't it? That drop down doesn't zoom in. Anyway, right now, instead of $99 a month for member role, it's $19.80. But the top role, which is elite, is $29.80 a month, and that will be starting tomorrow, $149 a month. But that will include everything we add also up and coming into the future, which is quite a bit I've got planned to add.
And you know you have to take into account this now. Bitcoin is just starting. We have a correction now. We're getting out of the altcoins. New tips will come in. They will have similar profits. You don't want to lose out on those. And Bitcoin has and a guy named Plan B. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. He is estimating that. Yeah, well, he thinks Bitcoin is going to go to between 250 and 1 million, somewhere between those numbers. And his predictions are have been pretty accurate in the past.
Yeah, he's had a good track record, Plan B, over the last whole cycles.
So you don't want to miss out on these trades that when Bitcoin goes, altcoin goes, you don't know which ones, but Zazook does, and that's
Zazook help find certainly as a user of Zazook and on a daily basis for trading. It saves me hours of scanning to try find those coins that are juicy. Literally hours of time get saved. The one thing that's not going away is it's $29.80 a month. It will be $149, as you can see there. But if you bought 3 months to start with, you get 1 month free, so you get 4. Move up to 6 months, you get 3 months free, you get 9. And if you bought a year, and at the moment that would be $357, which is the same as buying on full price, like 2 and a bit months, you'd get 20 months of subscription. So last 12 hours of doing that, and then it's all going back to full price.
All right. Well, there it is. Well, so there, yeah, exactly. So there it is. I didn't know that you were removing it today, but I'll probably be reaching out to some of my friends later on. Um, uh, cool. So yeah, if you guys want, thanks for watching, everybody. We're gonna be in the VCs, taking a look at some charts. So if you want, you can jump into the Discord. If you still thinking about it, come into the Discord. You can activate a free trial, take a look around, and see how these insights are being populated within our server, and see how you can use it for yourself. If you're actively trading and you're doing the work anyways, I mean, this would definitely help with your workflow. Yeah, and so tomorrow we'll be back at it, same time, same channel. And until then, thank you everyone for watching, and take care.
Happy trading, everyone.